afternoon, Amanda Harry here in the WVLT newsroom with an update to an ongoing story that we've been following since June. The Amber Alert that is still in effect for Summer Wells, the little girl who disappeared when she was 5 years old from her home in Hawkins County. She has since had a birthday in February, turning 6 years old. We're learning from the TBI this afternoon that crews are in the area of Beach Creek, which is a community in Hawkins County where Summer Wells lived with her family. It's also the area she disappeared from. And we want to show you some of the images that we're getting from TBI today, visualizing this ground search. And they're telling us that nothing really prompted this search, no specific new piece of information, that this was a planned search. So they had been planning on coming back to the area and focusing on previously identified areas of interest. And this is not the first time that they have executed a planned search. This has happened before in the fall and winter months when foliage was decreased, giving search crews better visual access to the geography of this region, meaning since everything is dead in the wintertime, trees, brush, all of that, they can see better across these fields and into the forests that they're searching. So things that they may have missed during the summer months when everything is in bloom and, you know, the trees and the bushes are very thick, perhaps they might see something now that they couldn't see then simply because of the season. So the TBI conducting a search, a planned search this afternoon for Summer Wells in the area around her home in Hawkins County. And they say they are focusing on previously identified areas of interest. What exactly that means, we're not quite sure. TBI not elaborating on that. We do want to walk you back in time and give you a quick recap of what's unfolded with this case and specifically with the family over the last few months. Summer's father, Don Wells, is currently in jail in Hawkins County, and we'll show you his mugshot here. He is in jail. February 7th, he pleaded guilty to DUI charges from a case stemming back in October. And so now he is in jail. At that time in February, he was sentenced, or the beginning of this month, he was sentenced to about 11 months. So it appears as though he will be in jail for that amount of time unless something develops between now and then. The other children in this family, the brothers of Summer Wells, have been in DCS custody since the onset of this investigation, essentially all the way back in the summertime. And then the mother, most recently, Candace Bly, filed or reported that she had been physically attacked by Don Wells and had called police out to the home. So definitely some turmoil going on within the family as this case shakes out. If you don't know what Summer Wells looks like, of course, we want to take a moment to show you her picture. She is now 6 years old. She turned 6 in February. At the time of her disappearance, she was 5 years old. That was back in June. This is what she looks like. Authorities say that the Amber Alert is still in effect for her, and that they are still actively asking for information about what may have happened. The family has long maintained that she was playing in the basement of the home with her brothers and then simply disappeared. Her dad believes and told our Erica Lunsford in an exclusive interview that he believes his child was abducted. The sheriff says there's really no obvious evidence that would point to that, but all scenarios are on the table and under investigation, and that he considers everyone a person of interest at this point. Going back in time a little further, we see some other tools that the TBI employed as part of its search in November. So we talked about those fall winter searches. This is one of them where they also used tools in the air to help search as they canvassed potential points of interest. And they also had, if we can get this to pull up here, divers in the area. So they were exploring bodies of water in this area as well for any clues that may have gone missed or overlooked during their previous searches over the summer, which lasted weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So the TBI, as we can see, remaining vigilant in its efforts to find any clue about what may have happened to this little girl. We're going to play for you Erica Lunsford's exclusive interview with Dawn Wells. It kind of gives you a glimpse into this family, and just a reminder about comments Dawn Wells made before this interview, weeks after his daughter disappeared. He said, quote, statistically speaking, there is a good chance she is already dead, quote. He continued, I hate to think that. I love her with all my heart. If nothing else, I will see her in the resurrection. So that is a direct quote from Don Wells, the father of Summer Wells, weeks after she disappeared in June. Here is Erica's interview with him.
And we'd get on them a lot, and so you can't do that, but it just, you know, we'd always find it open a lot of times and stuff. And so we tried to control that, but to know, you know, they couldn't control it 100% of the time.
Dawn Wells tells me Summer was last seen going to the basement to play.
We're having some issues here. Get this pulled up for you.
And we'd get on them a lot, and so you can't do that, but it just, you know, we'd always find it open.
Are you seeing it come up? Okay.
And we'd get on them a lot, and so you can't do that, but it just, you know, we'd always find it open a lot of times and stuff. And so we tried to control that, but to know, you know, they couldn't control it 100% of the time.
Dawn Wells tells me Summer was last seen going to the basement to play with her toys. Her 3 older brothers upstairs, her mother and grandmother in the yard facing away from the basement door, and Dawn Wells at work.
We don't know if someone was waiting in the basement or if she come outside here and went to the swing. All we know is she went down the basement.
Wells says he believes someone was lurking at the top of the dog trail, just feet away from the basement door. He says the predator somehow managed to snatch Summer, then race down the steep hill as she struggled.
I guess you guys want to walk down through here?
The trail was not an easy walk. To get down the rugged hill, Wells and I had to hold on to trees. I struggled not to trip or even fall on tree roots.
I need to slide a little bit.
So the dogs kind of came down this trail here?
Yeah.
It's pretty steep.
Yeah. I didn't know the dogs even had a trail down through here until the police dogs followed it all the way to the road.
Wells says he overheard authorities say search dogs followed Summer's scent down the trail to the road before losing it. He painted a vivid picture of a kidnapping, telling me a neighbor likely heard Summer scream.
I think whoever grabbed her probably had her mouth covered, and I think she was gasping for air by the time she got down through here somewhere, because our neighbor heard a scream, a really funny scream. I think they just carried her to a vehicle and threw her in there and took her somewhere far away from here.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson has not publicly commented on specifics of the case until now. I asked Sheriff Lawson about Wells' claims. Did dogs follow Summer's scent down the trail to the main road? The sheriff says yes.
The dogs had a pretty good trail, a track for a little while, but then it disappeared. But they lost scent when they come to the road. And sometimes canines, they will lose the scent when it changes different type, whether it maybe went from the gravel to the pavement.
And did a neighbor hear a scream?
Best I recall, it's been a couple months ago, I think that was unfounded.
Wells tells me the family home on Ben Hill Road is surrounded by drug dealers and buyers.
You get all kinds, you know, with the drug trade, and we've seen quite a bit of stuff surrounding the meth thing. They parked our neighbors caught them parked at our road in our driveway in the middle of the night or early in the morning and stuff like that, and run them off, and they get mad and they raise Cain, and we've had quite a bit of problems.
But Sheriff Lawson tells me Wells lives on a quiet street.
I've heard rumors of, there is maybe a drug dealer on that road, but it's just like anywhere. Ben Hill Road is no different than any other roads in Hawkins, Sullivan, or any other county, as far as even Knox County. We all have drug problems, but no, that's not that problem. That's not correct either.
It's not like a hot spot.
No, it's not a hot spot, and it's a dead-end road, so there's very little traffic, if any.
Don Wells says he doesn't know why anyone would take his daughter, but isn't shocked by the disappearance of a child.
There's a lot of missing children.
But Sheriff